Today we'll be doing okay. Are you able to get?
Voice is breaking, Prabhuji. Voice is breaking.
Let me know in case it is. So today we'll be doing Bhagavad-gītā. Once again, that's right.
Bro, your voice is breaking. Something is wrong. Sorry to disturb. Something is wrong with your audio. Please check.
Okay, is it okay now?
Perfect. Yes.
Okay, maybe there's some problem with the microphone. I'll not use the microphone then. So, deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. And Shloka 7.14. Devi he esha gunamayi mam maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Translation: this divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So this chapter 7, knowledge and realization of the Supreme, which is Jnana Vijnana Yoga. So here Lord Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality, who is the Supreme Absolute Truth, he is discussing that he is the supreme cause and sustaining force of everything, both material and spiritual. So those souls or the advanced devotees, they surrender to him in devotion, whereas impious souls, the other category, divert from their minds to other objects of worship. So this is what the summary theme is, and Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna. So let's see what this particular shloka is talking about, these two particular things. Okay. Right. So here, in this shloka, what will be discussed is Lord Krishna is transcendental, and how he is transcendental, and what this transcendence implies. So what has been discussed till now is that knowledge about Lord Krishna has already been discussed. So His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu gives a wonderful explanation. What will be discussed now? How this knowledge of Lord Krishna leads one to surrender, and about people who actually surrender and people who don't surrender to him. Also, people who surrender to something other than Lord Krishna. So here, Tribhir Guna Mayer Bhavir. So there are three modes of material nature, and the existences, and this material existence is filled or made with or comprises of these three modes. Evi Sarvam Idam Jagat. This whole world or everything and everyone in this material world is bewildered by these three modes. Right? So anybody takes this material body, and the body itself is in three modes of material nature. Entire existence of this material world is in three modes. So at certain level, some more, some less, everybody is influenced by these three modes. So Nabi Janati, they do not know. Now, what is that they do not know? Mam ebhya param avyayam, that I am param, that I am transcendental and I am imperishable. So he is beyond what we experience in material world. We experience duality, we experience pleasure and pain. Lord Krishna is beyond this. He's transcendental. He's completely spiritual. So here Lord Krishna is explaining about his relationship with the three modes and emphasizing that he is beyond these three material modes. His position is always transcendental. So he never falls to a material platform. He is never affected by these material inebrities, birth, death, old age, disease, and all these things, pleasure, pain. He's not in duality. He's completely spiritual. He's transcendental. He's always like that. So Tribhir Guna Mayir Bhaver. Although we are in these three modes, but Lord Krishna's position is that he's always transcendental to these three modes. In fact, it is these three modes which cause the bewilderment and make people forget Lord Krishna. Mohitam Nabi Janati. So how do these three material modes make us forget Lord Krishna? Because we are in delusion. Those in delusion, they do not know this. So the modes, these three material modes, the color or condition or perception for everything in this existence, in this material existence. So Prabhu, his Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu gives an example. If a person wears, say, red color tinted glasses, then everything he sees through these glasses will appear to be in red color. So these material modes comprise of this, you can say, different colors. Analogy is being made, color, tinted glasses. So goodness is one kind of tinted glass, passion is another, ignorance is yet another, different. Or you can say another example. So if you are traveling in an AC car and you see things beyond the glass window, and sitting in this car, you experience that even it's noontime and it's very sunny outside, it's very hot, you will the car has tinted glasses. You will find that, oh, what a wonderful weather outside, and it's so pleasant and everything, it looks like it's about to rain, but outside, if you roll down the window, you will see the reality that, it's so hot outside. So like that. So this is an illusion created, so it's like these goodness, passion, ignorance are being compared to different color tinted glasses. So for comparison, we can say that these glasses are of three different kinds, and all these three cause different kinds of illusion or tinting here. They make us feel different. The experience of the perception we get is maybe different from what a person in goodness experiences, or a person in passion experiences, a person in ignorance experiences. But nevertheless, it's illusion. So these material modes lead to contamination or conditioning of our vision. Now, beyond that, in general, all these three modes are material. So overall, there is some kind of material covering, material contamination, distortion of our perception. Because of this imperfection, we are unable to understand Lord Krishna's transcendental position. So if you go and tell somebody, you try to preach, no matter if you have read Bhagavad-gītā completely, but if you are inspired to preach because you are experiencing it, it's so really nice, whatever chapter you read, and you want to preach it to other people who are not taking to Krishna consciousness. And when you try, you will see how you will perceive how they treat you, or how they, the kind of questions they put, or the kind of the refusals you get from them. So it's like they are also in different levels of illusion or in different modes at any given time. So because of this imperfection, they will also not be able to understand the transcendental position of Lord Krishna. So this is how it is. So only when somebody explains it to you and you lend them your ears and you sit through the class, and you will realize, yes, it makes sense. Whatever Bhagavad-gītā is saying, it makes sense. Each level, each time you hear, it gives you some kind of upgrade or purification, and you'll be able to accept it. So this is how it is. So Lord Krishna is always in transcendental position, where we are in the material platform. So mam ebhya param avyayam, mam mean ebhya, above these, param the supreme, Avyayam, inexhaustible. Lord Krishna is saying, Param, I am transcendentally situated. Avyayam means imperishable. So Lord Krishna is transcendental and imperishable. And Lord Krishna is beyond the limits of this material limits of this material time and material space. So Param can be correlated to indicate space. Avyayam can be correlated with time. Everything in this material world is said to be limited by the time and space. But Lord Krishna is transcendental to time and space. So you see, in this life, we have taken this particular material body. We are born into a certain family. We do a certain kind of job. So like that. So we have taken many births, and we will go through transformation. You are young, newborn, young, infancy, young. Then you go to college, and slowly you grow old. You go through diseases and old age. So the entire cycle. But Lord Krishna is beyond all this. He's transcendental. So Srila Prabhupada says how even people in goodness are bewildered about Krishna. This is explained in 10th canto, where we have heard stories like, even demigods like Lord Indra, Lord Brahma, and even Lord Shiva are bewildered. So we know this Leela of Lord Indra, how this Govardhan Leela, right? And you have heard about this Lord Brahma taking away these Gopas, Lord Krishna's friends, and they are there in the cave. So he's trying to test Lord Krishna, and Lord Indra also disobeyed Lord Krishna. So like that. So there are stories which teach us how anybody in this material world can be bewildered. So Lord Shiva was bewildered in Vrindavan, but later Lord Shiva took side of Banasur. And when Lord Shiva's Jwara is defeated by Lord Narayana's Jwara in the fight between Banasur's forces with Lord Krishna's forces, at the time Lord Krishna surrenders to Lord, at the time Lord Shiva surrenders to Lord Krishna and offers him prayers of glorification. So in this way, everybody is bewildered by the three modes. So contamination caused by these three material modes prevents us from understanding the reality which is spiritual. So, and this causes us to continue to remain in this illusion. We have heard that there was this story where Lord Indra, because of this curse, he took a life in this material world as a wild boar, and then Lord Brahma and other Devi Devtas tried to convince him to let's go back. This is not good. You are Lord of heaven. But Lord Indra was very satisfied in that particular species, in that particular condition, in that particular life. He said, I'm very happy with my family. I don't want to go. So this is an illusion which is created. Anybody who has taken a material body, whether in a higher planetary system or lower planetary system of Earth, anywhere, they are affected by these material modes. So within material world, there are things which seem to be pleasurable, but they turn out to be miserable afterwards. So that is true. We have experienced that, right? Sometimes we go through this duality. We are happy, we are sad, we find something pleasurable. At a time, we find it very miserable, right? So that is there. So for example, you find that this duality in cold weather, this cold weather hurts us, right? We want hot weather, we want warm. So we find it very difficult. Sometimes the conditions are very extreme. And otherwise, when it's hot weather, summertime, we want to experience cold weather, winters, right? So this is the illusion. We have to go through this. So illusion with respect to things of this material world puts us in material bondage. They may cause the effect like a person is in passion and gets addicted to alcohol and goes into ignorance. And sometimes this person may be in ignorance and may be addicted to something, and by some effort or somebody's his or somebody else's efforts convincing by this willpower or by some therapy, this person may become sober, right? And he will give up intoxication addiction, and that person will be freed from this illusion caused by this mode of ignorance. But still, the person may have illusion of passion. He might be in mode of passion. So example, if somebody is free, he's not taking in any intoxication, person might be in illusion. He might say that I'll work hard, I'll get a big, get promotion in life and in job and all that, get a big house, family, and be happy in life, right? So that is also an illusion, because everything comes to last, right? In this material world, you have seen that everything has an expiry date. Some more, some less, will go through this transformation, right? So there may be movement in various kinds of illusion, from passion to ignorance, from ignorance to passion or goodness, and so on. This will go on. But as long as person remains illusion, he'll be unable to understand Lord Krishna properly, right? So this is what these three modes do. They may cause their different individual illusions. So now the question, and then because of this illusion which keeps us in bondage in material existence. So beyond these three modes, there is also cause some kind of illusion about Lord Krishna. That illusion Lord Krishna is talking here, he's focusing on. So now the question can be, if modes bind us and keep us in illusion, then how can such a person come out of this, free themselves from this illusion? So this is explained in this verse. So if mode binds a person and keeps him in illusion, then how can the person come out of this illusion? Devi, hey, divine indeed, Esha Gunamai, that actually the energy of Lord Krishna is divine indeed. Mam Maya Duratyaya, this is my Maya. Lord Krishna is saying it is Duratyaya, it is very difficult to overcome. So two things here, he's saying it's divine and Duratyaya, he's saying it's divine and it's very difficult to overcome. Mam eva ye prapadyante, but those who surrender unto me, he's giving solution. Mayam etam tarantite, they will cross beyond this Maya and come out of this illusion. So he's giving the solution. So he's explaining it in this verse. So in this previous shloka, Lord Krishna explained that the covering of the three modes puts everyone in this material one delusion. Now this shloka goes further and deepens our understanding. So the previous shloka, the living entities are at a lower level. The three modes are covering the living entity, and that is why the living entity cannot understand Lord Krishna. So, for example, His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu gives an example. So, say we have sun, and the clouds prevent the people who is observing this, trying to observe the sun from the earth, and the clouds are there, and they block the perception of this perception of the sun to the observer on the earth. Now, it may appear that clouds are covering the sun, but the sun is far beyond and greater than the clouds. So, sun cannot be covered. But what gets covered is the observer's vision. So our perception here, it changes. So there's this obstruction caused by the clouds, and not the clouds don't really cover the sun. They just cover our perception. What is covered is our observer's vision. So Lord Krishna is telling us that he is like sun in the previous version. He told he's transcendental and he's inexhaustible, imperishable. So it is not that he is covered. It is actually we, the observer, who are covered. So this makes a big difference. So now beyond that, Lord Krishna is telling that something more, gives more detail in this verse, that actually this covering is also under his control. This is also his energy. So he told that there is covering which prevents us from perceiving. Now in this verse, he's taking it further and he's saying that this covering is actually not something that is independent of Lord Krishna, but this covering is working under his instruction, under Lord Krishna's control, and this covering is due to Lord Krishna's energy. So, Mam Maya. So, Lord Krishna is saying that this is my Maya, which is putting the living entities under illusion. By the three modes, everyone is deluded. Gunamayi, consisting of the three modes of material nature, not saying that his Maya is made of three elements. And he says that this is Devi, means which is divine. So one may say that if Maya, which makes people do damaging things, wrong things, which makes people drive away, takes them away from Lord Krishna, do bad things. So if Maya takes people wrong, why is Maya considered to be divine? So we know that Maya makes people, we say that Maya makes people lusty, greedy, angry, and all these negative things you might say. But then how is that Maya can be considered divine? So these things which we can negative, which you don't want to have, because you want, now you realize that you want Krishna, but then you have these things there, So these are not caused by Maya, rather these are facilitated by Maya, but these are caused by people's own use of their free will, wrong use of free will, like that. But this Maya is working under Lord Krishna's instruction. So Prabhu gives an example that if it's a multiple choice questions, there are 4 options and three are wrong, 1 is correct. And if you happen to choose tick mark wrong question, is it the teacher's fault or is it the person who's tick marking or selecting the wrong answer, right? So options are there. It is you who is making choice. So you were trained or taught by the teacher, but you actually for God and we selected the wrong one. So it is not teacher's fault. So if we take like that, if we take instructions or guidance from Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, then we will, if we strictly follow that, then we will not make wrong choices. We will not select wrong answers. And we will progress. So primarily, it's because the students don't understand and they make wrong choices because of their free will, right? They have this intelligence and power, but they choose to misuse it. So, Mam Maya Duratya. So, Lord Krishna is saying that it is my energy, it is called divine, because ultimately the purpose is positive. So, now people realize that they want Lord Krishna and then would go towards that direction. Lord Krishna also wants us, and he wants us to be spiritual because we are spirit souls and just we are trapped in this material body, which is made up of 3 gunas, comprising of 3 gunas. So, the purpose is good. It is our use of free will, how we do it. So we have this Guru, Sadhu, Shastra to guide us. So Krishna is saying it is divine, Devi, because it is connected with Lord Krishna, who is completely transcendental, spiritual, and working under his instruction. This energy is considered divine. So Duratya means this energy is actually very difficult to overcome, and he's giving an option. Lord Krishna is saying, my energy, but he has also given, it is almost impossible, very difficult to overcome. Because Lord Krishna is determined to ensure that only those souls, those people who use their free will properly will get through, and this is ensured, implemented, and actualized by Maya Devi. So there's nothing wrong with Maya. She's just doing what she's supposed to do under the instructions of Lord Krishna. It is us. We have to understand, take the instructions from Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, and walk in that direction, not make wrong choices. So, somebody, Prabhu gives an example. So somebody once asked Lord Srila Prabhupada that if our purpose is to serve Lord Krishna, this is our realization. Once you come to Bhakti, you realize that. Then why Maya is so strong? And Srila Prabhupada immediately replied that because your purpose is not strong. What does this mean? If the purpose is to serve Lord Krishna, then why Maya is so strong? Because the purpose is not strong. Because our purpose is not strong. We are just saying it. We are not following it in entirety. We are doing some things, but not other things. So actually, all the temptations will trouble us as long as we are not determined to serve Lord Krishna. So saying is one thing and doing is another thing. So we can choose to be then either in material or spiritual. It's always our choice. So as long as you are fully determined to serve Lord Krishna, then we won't be overcome by temptations because you will have received a higher taste. And once you get a higher taste, you want to stick to that. You don't want this material suffering. You don't want this material duality. You don't want to be in these 3 material modes. So you want to do everything what takes us towards Lord Krishna. So you are willing to overcome these temptations. So once you are fixated in your purpose of serving Lord Krishna, then Maya will stop troubling you. So, Maya ye prapadyante. What does it mean to make our purpose strong? It means to take shelter of Lord Krishna, surrender to Lord Krishna. So these people will cross over Maya, they will go beyond Maya. So how did they do that? By wholehearted, complete surrender to Lord Krishna. So that is how it is. So Prabhu gives an example. Let's say if you're going to somebody's house and he has a very big, ferocious dog, and the dog starts barking when he sees you, right? Because that's what dog is trained to do, to drive away people who are trespassing. So, but if you and the dog can attack you if let loose, right? So, what can visitor do? If the visitor knows the owner and he calls the owner, then the owner can actually calm the dog, right? Otherwise, the outcome can be different. So this is how it is. So this magical transformation happens when dog gets the order from his master. So this is just an analogy. So in that instance, the owner and the dog and the visitor. So here it is us and the controller, the Maya Devi. She is just following the instructions of Lord Krishna and making sure only the obedient people, only the obedient souls, transformed souls, get through this material world into the spiritual world. Right? This is how it's supposed to be. Those who surrender to Lord Krishna, then Maya will stop attacking, or Maya will stop taking further tests. So this is how you become free from Maya. You do complete surrender to Lord Krishna. This is our choice. And Maya also wants us to take that. So this is kind of a training which is happening. So all we have to do is get over our temptations tribulations, and I will stop putting us through all these tests. So, how to surrender? This will be discussed in detail. Will be discussed in chapter 18. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives more detail. He is saying that accepting that which is favorable and rejecting that which is unfavorable, that is surrender. And it involves making constant conscious choices. So Prabhu gives an example of Draupadi and Arjuna. So Draupadi, finally, when she raised her hand, when she was being disrobed in the assembly of the Kauravas, so finally she surrendered to Lord Krishna by raising her hands. And at that moment, Lord Krishna protected her. That's what Lord Krishna does. He always protects his devotee who surrender. So similarly, Arjuna, initially bewildered, I don't want to fight, but then he's fighting for Lord Krishna. He's shooting arrows. This is also surrender. He's working under the instructions of Lord Krishna, because this is what Lord Krishna wanted, to remove these impious souls from the planet Earth. That is why he got all these kings and rulers and everyone in one place of battle of Kurukshetra. So basic principle of spiritual life is harmonizing our free will and with the will of the divine will of Krishna. So surrender can come in various forms. So this is so we accept what is favorable and we reject what is unfavorable. So what comprises all this? This is under. This will be within our control of our mind. We will have to control. This will be under our mind. So if you have been following instructions of Guru Sadhu Shastra, you will get all the knowledge. And so when we get temptations, we understand, we have knowledge, and this is wrong, this is right, and we make choices. This is how we progress. We choose the right thoughts, desires, and this will take us further close to Lord Krishna. So this is how it is. So thank you, Prabhu Mataji. Thanks for joining. We'll meet again tomorrow for further discussion on the shlokas and chanting. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, धन्यवाद.
Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam, Hare Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.